Hi there. This is the first video of Living Life to the Fullest 2.0. And the reason for the 2.0 is that I started having this idea about a couple of years ago. I started to take a few videos, and then I realized that I was going in the wrong direction, that the world doesn't need one more video about how to find a cheaper cruise or a better car rental or to travel a different way. So after taking a lot of footage and posting a few videos, um, something told me that I was in the right direction. So the little voice inside is what I'm trying to learn how to listen to. And the little voice for a few months right now has been telling me, no, there is a place to go and make videos, but uh, it's not your approach, is my approach. So who's me? Who's the little voice coming from? Well, I hope that is coming from God. We're all searching. We're all looking for meaning, and the Word of God, the Bible, is full of promises that it's talking about follow me, be obedient, abandon yourself to me, and I will show you a life better than. And there is all kind of promises. Well, are they? As human being, without. We need faith. Faith is something that you build on. And is that voice really coming from God? Is it coming from my selfish nature? Is it coming from, I don't know, just because I had cheese for dinner last night and that affected my dreams or the way I'm thinking? So there is some reluctance in it. So I somewhat struck a deal with God and saying, okay, I want to be obedient. I believe that you can use my gifts, which are the things that come natural to me, and one of them is to talk. No problem with that. To like making videos and editing and all these kind of things, and to share a story, to tell stories. But on the other hand, I don't want to get involved in all of the bells and whistles on how to deal with YouTube, with algorithms, and basically making a job out of it. So I'm striking this deal with God saying, okay, if you want me to say something, if you want me to share, that's something that comes easy to me. I can be sharing you about anything. Rosalinda sometimes tells me that was TMI, too much information. Well, I have a tough time seeing sometimes where the borderline is. So I don't have any problem sharing. And I don't have any problem giving God the credit for the many, many blessings that He has given to us. But is it God speaking? Is it my selfish nature? Is it my ego that is camouflage under here I'm doing something that God is asking me to do when actually I am doing something because I want to have people sharing or people complimenting or making comments or which is I don't want that. So the deal I made is that okay, I will make the videos. I will share when the opportunity comes about this or that or the other, just living life, and I will document uh, what is really been an increasingly blessing life, not in the things that the world looks at. We still have the same old cars. We still live in the same little house. We have less money in the bank, but about the important things, family, faith, relationships, and things like that. But I will not follow the quote unquote guidelines of what it takes to be having a successful channel. Is not my goal. I will not go after um, what can I say, likes or subscribe. I will never ask for that. I'm going to make some videos. We'll see if I stick with it, first of all. And then Uh, I'm going to publish them first under private so that nobody can see them. And then, if after a month or so I have had enough videos made and I'm sticking with it and I'm learning how to do them better and no wasting people's time, then I might make them public. So, who am I making these videos for? Well, the number one goal really that I have in documenting things is that being almost 75 years old, Rosenda just turned 75 last week, we are definitely in the later years of our life where we still have quarter of our life ahead of us or a quarter of a year. It doesn't matter. We don't know that. But sometimes I reflect and I say, boy, sure would be nice if I would have sat down with my dad at the time we didn't have iPhones and or anything like that. But if I would have written down this or if I would have asked him that or so on, I did a little bit of that with my mom, but way too little. I would have taken a lot more time with my mom than I have right now, and so basically, I I'm going to just share. I have plenty of stories that probably everybody already heard so many times. But what if my kids, my grandkids, my friends, my who knows, somebody that I don't even know right now that might be on the map will pull up a video like this 10 years, 20 years from now, 30 years, and say, wow, look at what that guy had to say. Times were sure different at the time. Or my grandkids saying, I remember when Nono used to do this or say that, and I'm glad to see him leaving a record. So basically, if I have an audience of zero, but I'm developing a record that I can put on YouTube that will be preserved, that will be a victory in itself. So today being April 1st or April Fool's Day, I definitely qualify as one of the fools to try to do that, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to take a little break, make sure that this video is recording, and then I'll get into what I want to talk about. The voice seems to be recording. The location, I'm outside on our little porch. Might not be the best. This plant over here seems like wants to bite me. But again, the one thing that I don't have any problem with is to show what you see is what you get. I don't have any pretenses of uh, looking professional or out of respect of who's watching or will be watching or so on. I want to be clear. I want to be putting out a good quality product, but without any fancy bells and whistles. One of the things that still bothers me after 53 years of being in this country is that my accent really comes across very strongly. But that's it. It's too late now in life to try to lose it. There was a time when I first came to this country that I purposely didn't want to lose it because it can be useful to me. This will be one of the stories that I might share in the future. But now uh, it's still there, and that's okay. But that's one of the reasons why part of me cannot be denied. I spent the first 21 years of my life in Europe, most of them in Italy, of course. And even though I've been an American citizen now for 50 years, and this is my country, this is what as the top priority. Down deep in the heart, of course, I'm Italian, and I have a lot of friends over there, and so whatever I will be posting, I'll be posting it in English if I'm doing it over here, or in Italian if I'm over there and I'm talking to local people, and then put the subtitles thanks to YouTube, which I believe it can do automatically right now. Uh, if I'm speaking in English, I'll put the subtitles in Italian, and if I'm speaking in Italian, I'll put the subtitles in English. And I think that YouTube can auto detect that. That's something I'll have to learn. And I have two channels. One is in English and one is in Italian. So I'll be using the same video and posted it on both channels. Just again because I have friends in Italy, and you know, they might be interested in some of them in seeing what I got to say. Especially, I don't know. As I said, my goal is not to have a million followers, to make a ton of money or any money. It is to leave a record, basically for the future. A record that, as I said, I would wish so much that I could dip into sometimes from my mom, my dad, and all of that. There is a lizard over here just looking at me, and they jump. So if you see me scared, actually there is two, and they jump on me, and you see me jumping, that's because of the lizard. So we are in Florida, southeastern Florida. It's a hot day, but I'm in somewhat of a shade, and it's a beautiful day. Okay, I wrote some notes, and I am just about things that I would like to talk about. And let me see what I've already touched on. And the the living life to the fullest is the main subject of these videos, and the search for what is living a life to the fullest, what is happiness, what is the ultimate goal. We live in a very screwed up world, especially now with the political situation, not just in this country but worldwide. The world seems to be really divided. Evil seems to have a much upper end than maybe when I grew up, or maybe I just don't remember it. But now it seems like the world is divided 50-50. The people hate each other. The people do things to each other that I don't know. Seems like the backbone that one was given growing up, or at least maybe is idealistic on my side, is no longer there. Seems like the morals are no longer there. Not to be holier than thou or anything like this, but just a matter of respect, a matter of uh, the basics. And I see a lot among my family, among my friends, among people that I know, a lot of dissatisfaction, a lot of emptiness. We have a lot of food, so to speak, soul food, or or stuff to feed us, from visual to videos to vacations to money to this to that. But it seems like a lot of it is empty calories. And especially since I retired, since I have the luxury of having the time to meditate on these things, to think, I am focusing more and more on what I believe is important at a deeper level or a higher level, whichever way one wants to use the comparison as. So, unfortunately, these thoughts come into my head and then they go out, and maybe a period of quiet time or through an experience, and then whoop, they vanish. And many of them are very important. And that's what I want to preserve. That's what I want to build. That's what I want to create a library of, so to speak. So there might be somebody out there that might be interested in being part of this quote unquote community. Uh, but again, is the expectation of these videos is not my priority. I am totally turning it over. I feel that I'm being told, make videos and share your stories. That's it. Then post them, of course, and then let the chip fall where they may, and it doesn't matter. So that's what I want to um, keep in front of my mind. Another way for making these videos is that if I say something, if I say I want to try this or I want to go after that and so on, is a way to hold myself accountable. Because once you put it out there, it's a lot harder to hide than if you keep it inside. Then nobody knows about the thought you had or the intention, and then if you don't keep them, nobody knew about it anyway. I want to be held accountable by my wife, accountable by my kids. I want to leave a positive memory in their lives whenever I'll be gone. And that is important to me. So, anyway, as I'm looking at this, I am emphasizing the fact that we are on a journey. And on this journey that we all are on in one way or the other, I see that it doesn't make any difference if one has money or is famous or it has uh, gifted in some ways, either in athletics or in brains or in whatever. The people are either happy or unhappy, regardless of their background and regardless of what their situation is. And that's a shame because, especially in this country, we have a lot to be thankful for. Starting from the freedom, the opportunities, the financial opportunities, uh, the many, many gifts, which unfortunately, many times we throw them out of the window by drinking, living a promiscuous life, or taking drugs, or just wasting our time in chasing a success that at the end of it really doesn't turn out to be a success. I heard the saying one time that there is nothing wrong with climbing the ladder, but you just have to be careful on which building you lean it on, because after getting to the top, you might realize that you're not where you wanted to be. So, since I retired, since I've had the luxury of meditating more about these kind of things, and I really want to lean my ladder towards something that is meaningful. And I'm super fortunate of the fact that Rosalind and I think the same way. We're different, we are approaching it differently, but we're both going in that direction. And we share those things, and we truly have a connection that, frankly speaking, we never had this deep of a connection in the 55 years that we know each other. And it's getting deeper every day. There is more intimacy. I'm not talking about sexual intimacy, but the real connection between the two of us that there has ever been. And that to me is the biggest gift of it all. So I have spoken a little bit about God. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm holier than thou, but I would not be honest if I wouldn't say that I do believe there is a creator. As I look around of nature, I look around at the beauty and so on. There is an order of things, and there is a way that we were created to be, but we have been given the freedom to either try to be that way or not to try. And the older I get and the more I have experienced in life, I'm realizing that the kind of things that God has put in place and that is inviting us to seek are the things that I want. So I think for today is enough. Again, I don't know when I'll make the next video, or when I'll post it, or when I'll make it public. One step at a time, which is part of the freedom that I am enjoying. Living one day at a time, going with your gut feelings, listening to the little voice, and most of all, trusting that God knows my heart. I can deceive myself even by justifying my action, but down deep, my motives are distorted because that's our nature as human beings. So I'm putting it out there. I'm trusting that God will guide me, and that we'll see what comes out, and it might be fun. So as of today, April 1st, 2025, this is one fool saying, see you later.